Hello, my name is Jeremy, and you are watching the Practical IT channel. This is Midweek News, Episode 2. This is where we cover the news that may have slipped under your radar. First off this week, we've got OpenIndiana. For those who may not be familiar with this project, it's a continuation of the Open Solaris system, and they have released new version 2022.10. It includes a number of new packages and changes, including upgrades to Perl and Python. It uses the Mate desktop version 1.26. You can download OpenIndiana from OpenIndiana.org. Next up, GIMP is now native and stable for Apple Silicon Macs. You can get version 2.10.32 of this free and open source image editor at GIMP.org. And GIMP is also available for Linux and Windows as well as other platforms. Check it out if you've never used it. Linux Mint 21.1 beta is now out with the Cinnamon 5.6 desktop environment. While it is not recommended to run a beta as your daily driver, you can download the beta from the testing directory on many Linux Mint mirrors. Head to linuxmint.com/mirrors.php to get started. Linux Mint 21.1 is slated for release on Christmas Day. If you've ever tried to break up with a piece of proprietary software, you may have looked for an open source alternative. Until recently, I've sworn by Alternative2.net. There's a new player in this space. Take a look at OpenSourceAlternative.2. While not yet as comprehensive as my previous go-to for alternatives, this relatively new website takes finding an alternative in a new direction. It focuses solely on open source products. The site has only been around since March 2022, but is already on its way to being a very useful resource. Last but not least, I will be holding a webinar on Saturday, December 10th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Registration for this event will allow the first 15 people registered to connect to a VM I will be setting up to go through some basic Linux commands as a group and ask questions along the way. This first webinar is expected to last between 60 and 90 minutes and will cover some basic Linux commands and serve to get people used to the webinar environment. The sign-up link will be down in the description. Yes, I can have more than 15 people in the environment. However, only the first 15 people registered will get access to the VM. And that, my friends, will bring us to the end of episode 2 of Midweek News. If you got something out of this video, please hit the thumbs up button and feel free to leave comments down below. If you know of a news item that has slipped under my radar, head on over to the About tab on my channel and feel free to drop me an email, and I would be happy to look at that news item and potentially include it in next week's news. Once again, thank you for watching, and have